I want to talk a little bit more about culture and this, the reason the right is so far behind, because I think we're behind. What I think has happened now, as I've said a million times already, but still, is the left has lost. Wokeness has lost. Wokeness is dead. They've lost, but have we won? Or are we winning? And it is true that we have made inroads, and the DailyWire is part of that. But it's not enough, and there's stuff coming up ahead of us that I want to foresee. You know, my son, this is what I want to talk about. My son, Spencer Klavan, no relation, wrote a piece for the American Mind called "Conservatives Must Snub Political Quiche for Aesthetic Greatness." And the subtitle is a matter of taste. He says, de gustibus non est disputandum, which means there's no accounting for taste. And he says, and I totally agree with this, it's not true. It is not true. There is such a thing as quality in art. And in order to understand this, you have to understand the C.S. Lewis comment that before you can, he was writing about Paradise Lost, and he said, before you understand a thing, whether it's a cathedral or a corkscrew, you have to know what it's for. This is true of your body. This is true of your sex life, and it's certainly true of the books and movies that you see. And this is why before I started talking about culture, all those decades now ago, I started to think about what am I doing? Why am I spending my life making up stories that didn't happen to people who aren't true? What is this for? And I thought about it a long time, and I read a lot about it, and I came to the conclusion that this is a way of preserving the human experience, which is beyond language. You cannot tell somebody what it feels like to have a baby, to fall in love, to see a sunset, to stub your toe. You cannot describe what those things are. The only way you can describe them is by representing them. And you represent them by screaming when you stub your toe. You represent them by using metaphors, by saying, oh my God, having a baby, it was just like, waking up on Christmas, seeing my baby born was just like waking up on Christmas morning. You use metaphor. Those are stories. You tell stories about them. Music communicates these things. All these things that happen in the human being that we call subjective. See, people now think subjective is unreal, but that's not true. Subjective is just something that happens within. And in some ways, all reality is subjective. And because it all happens within, we all are in a co-creation with God of reality. When art preserves that and communicates it from person to person. Now, the reason this is so important is that every age that you live in, and this is a perfect example, is full of lies, every age. There are always ages, there are always times that are better than others, but they're only better in certain places. Where I grew up, America was a better place, but not if you were a black guy in the South. Then it was a bad place. Where I was, it was a great place. It was terrific. But if you were someone else in America, not so good. The world is always full of untruths, that black people are less than white people, that Jews are all the cause of all the evil in the world, that man can become a woman, or a woman, somebody used the word subservient. Women are supposed to be subservient. Well, BS, that is not what the Bible says at all. And all those lies are always around. But there are also these little, like gold in mud in a riverbed, there are also these little sparkling gems of human truth, and they can't be said exactly all the time. They can't be put into a sentence or a word or a phrase or, something that can be put over a doorstop. They have to be expressed, and they're expressed by great artists in music and in poetry and in all the arts. And that means that you can carry these jewels of human truth with you into the lies that are all around you. Now, the thing is, some arts die, but some arts go through moribund cycles where they are dead, and some arts live forever even though they become less popular. So the theater used to be the main form of entertainment in Elizabethan England and ancient Greece. Now it's a elite form of entertainment, but there's still great theater. Some of the greatest works that have been created in my life, like Sweeney Todd and Arcadia by Tom Stoppard, were in the theater. Nobody saw them but me, and saying, "Oh, there they are in the theater, and they're wonderful." But still, those arts remain. But new arts come along. So painting is dead essentially, but visual art is not dead, because now painting exists in video games. It exists online. There's all kinds of visual things that are going to be created by AI and with people in collaboration, all of these new things. Where is the right on those things, right? I mean, it's late for me to begin to do new technological things, but the new artists have to be looking ahead. Why is it that the guys who made YouTube, the guys who made Facebook, the guys who made Twitter, why were they all left-wingers? Why aren't we exploring these new technical forms out of which new artistic forms will come? Because that is where the world is going. There are always going to be books. There's always going to be theater because those things are basic to human life. But right-wingers now have to start making new things, and the tools are there. AI is a tool. You're going to be able to make a movie in your room very soon and distribute it on Substack or someplace like that. These are the things that we have to be doing and we have to be supporting. It's not just, if you keep going to the new Star Wars movie and wondering why the culture remains crap, you're part of the problem. You have to be looking for the independent guys, the guys who are lost, the guys who are doing stuff, because the left knows how to do that and we do not. We got to learn. If you want more great stuff, like and subscribe. And for even more great stuff, like and subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you listen to your podcasts.